Yo, what is up, Carbonation? Welcome here to the brand new redesign of our MLB live stream. So if you like this, click the thumbs up on this stream, on this exact video. If you don't like it, click the thumbs up on this stream video. Either way, click the thumbs up. As you see, I just posted in chat for the YouTube stream. Once we get to 50 likes, we're going to do a Karma shirt giveaway to celebrate this new redesign. I think it's pretty cool. So what this is, as you see to the right of my face, or I guess depending on how you're looking at it, my left shoulder, my right shoulder, I don't know. But on the side of the screen, we have starting pitcher, catcher, first, second, third, shortstop, and outfielder. So no matter when you tune in to a live stream now, starting today, moving forward with MLB DFS Live, you're going to know exactly what position they're starting on. And if you need to go to, starting pitcher, and we're currently talking about third baseman, well, all of our streams are replayable. So no matter when you tune in, watch the rest of the live stream, get your questions answered live, then wait for it to end, and then you can rewind back to the beginning as well. So that being said, we're going to hop right to it. We got Rube, one of our MLB goats here. Rube, how you doing today?
I'm good, Travis. How are you, man? I'm really excited about this new stream. Love the new overlay, and I'm excited for this big 13-game slate tonight.
13 games, kicks off at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, so don't screw yourself by thinking this is a 7 p.m. lock. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you do have questions at any point of the stream, whether you have a lot of questions right now or for a certain position, doesn't matter, get them in the chat ASAP, and we'll get to them all one at a time. It's very easy. Just, if you're logged into your YouTube account or your Google account, you just type them in the chat, send them, and we'll answer them on the stream. Without further ado, let's hop right to it. Start things off with starting pitcher, talking about cash, favorite cash starting pitcher for this massive slate. Who are we looking at?
So there's one starting pitcher that really stood out to me when I opened up the slate, and that was Luis Castillo. But unfortunately, with the weather concerns there in Cincy, I don't think we're going to be able to use him today, which really stinks because, that was a really nice 7.3K price tag. But still staying along those same lines, looking to pay down a guy that has possible light rain in the forecast, but I do want to target is Michael Fulmer today against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates obviously some regression is coming their way. And so Fulmer is a guy at 6.4K that I'm looking to attack today in cash. And then a second cash option for me today that I really want to go after is Zach Wheeler against the San Francisco 49ers. He's my spend up option at 9.8K. We saw this Giants lineup. They got tamed last night. And really the only guy that I'm afraid of in that lineup is Brandon Belt today against Wheeler. We've seen Wheeler stretched out and go deep in games a few times this year, which has been really encouraging.
All right, now staying on the same topic of starting pitcher, who are we looking at for the GPP wise? And of course, why? Is it mainly on the ownership side? Is it mainly because they're going to destroy? Actually, I did have a quick question. Once you answer the starting pitcher thing, is this a slate with 13 games with the matchups we have that we can do like min price pitcher? And then are we doing like stars and scrubs with our two pitchers? Or are we doing kind of balance? What are you looking at?
So just a big slate overview. We actually have a ton of value on today's slate. So I'm kind of leaning the opposite of that way, Travis. Like I'm looking to spend up, and that's kind of where I'm going towards with these with my starting pitcher GPP here, and that's Corbin Burns over in our Bet Karma Discord, where all of our bets are free for the entire month of April. I took the Brewers money line at plus 107 this morning, and it's really because of Corbin Burns, who's been a Cy Young candidate to start the year. Yes, the Padres did get Fernando Tatis back in the lineup, but Burns is still a guy that I really want to be invested in. And I was just actually talking to Bales today and we don't think that there's a better 1-2 combo in baseball than Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff right now. So Burns is a guy I want to be invested in. I will have him in my lineup today against this Padres team. For 10.8K, he's expensive, but as I said, there's a lot of value on this slate that we'll get into when we go position by position for the hitters.
Now, before we hop down and leave the pitcher side of things, let's just focus on the cash side. On cash, who is the cheapest pitcher that you would fathomably plug in to your cash lineup for this massive slate?
It's difficult. I mean, Fulmer really stands out at that 6.4K. Other than him, we could potentially the wind's blowing out there, so I don't really want to go with Manaea. I think it would be Fulmer at that 6.4K would really be the floor that I would go to. I mean, we have Brad Keller at 5.4K. He's interesting today against the Rays. They do pack a lot of pop. They are a scrappy team, but a low implied run total under 4. Keller was actually priced up to start the year, but this is a nice price tag at 5.4K. So if you were really looking to go all the way down and maybe stack one of these high price,
Man, the last I heard high price, then you froze in the last part, so we were in suspense there. So what did you say after
it was
high price?
Brad Keller allows you to kind of spend up for those high price stacks if that's someone you're interested in going to at 5.4K today against the Royals.
Gotcha. Now I know catcher's not the sexiest thing in DFS. Do you have anything for the catcher spot here as moving on down the line?
Yeah, for me, I'm always looking to spend down at the catcher position. Just not a lot of not a lot of priority put into the catcher position for me, unless it's a slate where we have a ton of value and I'm looking to spend up. But as I already said, I'm jamming Corbin Burns in my lineup today. So a guy for me is on a team that I really want to target today, and that's the Miami Marlins, and it's Jorge Alfaro. I mean, this won't be the only Marlin that I talk about today. Hitting 7th in the order, but that under 3K price tag is where I want to be looking at for my cash games for cash. And then if I was looking to spend up a little bit in a tournament, one team that I'm really interested today is the Cardinals, and we have Yadier Molina hitting 4th in the lineup for them today. So Molina is definitely a guy that I will look to target in tournaments because I mean, we saw it in Patrick Corbin's last start. His velocity's down. He's not creating a ton of whiffs, a ton of hard contact against. So Corbin is a guy I want to stack against, and having a cleanup hitter at catcher in Yadi is the way to go for me in GPPs.
Before we hop over to the first base spot, we do have a few questions here back on the pitcher side of things in the chat. Remember, guys, That's why we do these live streams. You can ask questions live. You'll get them answered live. So first up, we have Beer Belly asking, why do you have no Walker love, no Taiwan love today?
Taiwan Walker's okay. I mean, I'm a big Mets fan, so he's okay. I mean, listen,
Are you, Rube? I didn't know by your Twitter account. Are you a Mets fan?
Big Mets fan. I do like Walker. He's looked great to start the year. For me, he doesn't possess a ton of K upside himself, but obviously we know how historically bad this Cubs lineup has been to start the season. I mean, I think Javier Baez has a whiff rate over 60% right now, which is just like pathetically bad, but it's still a decently dangerous lineup that I don't really want to target. I mean, there's a ton of pop in that middle of that order with Rizzo, Bryant, Jock, and Baez. I mean, Walker's okay, a good GPP play. I just don't think that's somewhere that I'm looking to go today.
All right, then we have another pitcher question from Ryan in chat. Are you good with using Baum in a Philly stack over Segura to squeeze in Burns and Wheeler, or should I just use Ryu over Wheeler? Did you get all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, Alec Baum. I kind of really like the Brad Miller at first base for 2.7K for the Phillies. If I was going that route, I do really like Segura. If you check out my hitter breakdown article, I mean, I wrote up Segura as my 1% owned home run play today. So I definitely really into him. I would probably prioritize Segura, especially if you're going with Joyce and Harper, kind of complete that stack, especially because Segura gets a lot of protection with Bryce Harper behind him. So he'll see a lot of quality pitches from Logan Webb.
All right, let's hop over now to good old first base. Who are we looking at for the cash games?
Yeah, I mean, perfect transition right there. Brad Miller at 2.7K hitting fifth today for the Phillies. We're looking to find that value today and spending down, and Brad Miller's a way to get that exposure to the Phillies for a cheap price tag. Last night I played Harper. The Phillies were definitely underwhelming against Gossman, but today against Logan Webb, wind blowing out 11 miles per hour, a healthy 4.7 implied run total. That's somewhere I want to go. And then the other spend up option for me is Paul Goldschmidt. I know Ben is in love with Goldschmidt today. He's had a ton of barrels and just has gotten pretty unlucky to start the year. And as I said, Patrick Corbin might be dust, might be done, and he might be the guy that we really, really want to prioritize stacking against, especially with the wind blowing out 11 miles per hour to left field for Goldie today.
All right, so now for the GPP side, are we targeting cheap here? Are we spending up?
For me, it's the mid range. I really like CJ Cron today. I mean, it's kind of a cop out to go to Coors, but I mean, we have competitive implied run totals with Coors today, and Cron in the middle of the order, 4.2K, might go a little bit overlooked. For me, I'm really going to have to dig into how owned Coors will be today. Obviously, we know that it really gets up there sometimes, like 50% owned in cash games, gets up to 25, 30% owned in GPPs. I wouldn't really like playing Cron at those type of ownerships, but if he's going to go under owned today, like 10% or sub 10%, I definitely want to be invested in CJ Cron. I actually made a preseason bet for him to lead the National League in home runs. Not looking great to start the year, but once that weather warms up here in Coors, we could see some bombs from CJ.
CJ to lead the entire league in home runs throughout the entire season.
League.
To lead the National League.
100-1. I took him at. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop things over now to second base. Who are we targeting for the cash games?
So second base, pretty easy today. We have another cheap leadoff hitter. I feel like I'm going to keep saying this. It just kind of happens on these 13-game slates. We have Ronald Acuna out today. So replacing him in that leadoff spot for the Braves is at Adrianza, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Ahir Adrianza. And
that's closer than anything Anthony would have said. So
yeah,
yes.
exactly.
So yes.
Yep. He's 2.7K today. I mean, looking like a priority on this slate. It's very difficult to get away from him in cash games, leading off in front of Freddie Freeman and Marcelo Zuna. He's going to see a ton of really, really good pitches with those guys behind him. Tyon struggled with control this year, so we could potentially see him get on and then potentially steal a base. I mean, the Braves are always willing to get aggressive. We know Acuna in that leadoff hole is a 40-40 candidate. I mean, Adrianza might step in and get the stolen bases that Acuna leaves behind.
Before we hop over to second base GPP, you mentioned Freddie Freeman. Of course, he's not second base, but did you see that clip of Rizzo chase down the pickle?
I did. He was yelling
so
at him.
Good. It was
Frederick!
so good. Frederick, come back here!
Yeah,
oh
that
man,
was great.
That was
Yeah.
a highlight of MLB for me this week.
Yeah,
let's go over to the GPP side for second base.
So for me, at second base for my spend up position, it'll be Gene Segura. I kind of talked about him a little bit when Ryan was asking about whether to fade him, but he's historically been really, really good against pitchers like Logan Webb's archetype. And right now, because Bryce Harper is unbelievably hot over this past week, I think Segura is going to see a ton of pitches, and Logan Webb is not a high strikeout pitcher. I'm not really worried about what he has. Doesn't create a ton of whiffs, and Segura will be my spend up option here at second base. 4.4K still leaves you some money to go up and maybe pair him with Joyce and Harper and get that 1 through 3 stack for the Phillies.
All right, so remember, guys, we got a few more positions left here. If you have any questions, even if it's a position we've already finished, first base, pitcher, whatever it may be, get those questions in, because once we wrap the stream, the only chance you have to ask a question, get it answered ASAP, is by hopping into our chat room, which is, of course, free to hop into. Go to chatdfs.com if you're not in our Discord yet. You should be. So let's go ahead and go over to third base. Are we targeting a cheap guy that's batting leadoff that's also a third baseman?
I know, right?
What are we playing here?
That's kind of how it feels today. But for me, it'll be Nolan Arenado. I feel like I keep talking about these Cardinals, but for good reason. I mean, Arenado has always... He was always a priority play against lefties, and now we get Patrick Corbin, who, as I've said, I mean, velo's down, not creating a ton of swing and misses. I mean, this is the perfect spot to target Nolan Arenado. He's personally my favorite Cardinal today. We in the Discord yesterday were all on Paul DeJong, who hit a grand slam, hit 2 home runs for us, and took us to the promised land. I feel like Nolan Arenado has that similar upside tonight, and he's my double dong pick in my MLB DFS hitter breakdown, which is on the site daily, usually posted at least 3-4 hours before lock. So you have a lot of time to digest that before, our core plays go up on site and all that. It kind of really helps me start my research and gives you some nice reading material to start yours.
So you said Nolan is your double dong pick of the day. Does that mean he's also GPP playable?
He absolutely is. Yes, I think he is. He is a priority for me today at third base. I will very likely have him. Another GPP candidate in that Coors game is Alex Bregman, right up there, same kind of price tag, above 5K as Arenado. But anytime we can go to Coors with Alex Bregman, we got to do it. I think that he might be a little bit more popular than Arenado today. I'm fine taking that $400 savings with Arenado. So that's why I think Arenado is like my optimal play today. But Alex Bregman is another fantastic play at third base.
All right, let's go ahead and go over to shortstop. Just got to say it because it's the trend. Who's batting leadoff?
I mean, we do have some cheap shortstops today. We don't have any min-priced leadoff shortstops today, unfortunately. But, I mean, for me, if I was spending up, it would be to a guy like Trey Turner against Adam Wainwright. Wainwright, people thought had a resurgence last year, but his early season stuff just has not been there. We saw Trey Turner hit 2 home runs on Sunday. He's been really locked in at the plate, and he's going to continue to just see fantastic pitches with Juan Soto hitting behind him. And I mean, 11 miles per hour wind blowing out to left in that game. I keep harping on it. I might have to go over and put an overbet over in our Bet Karma Discord for this Nationals Cardinals game. I feel like I'm talking up every single one of these guys.
All right, and then that for GPP wise, who we targeting? Man, it's a tough word to say. Those T words today. Who are we targeting for the shortstop on the GPP side of things?
So for me, it'll be Miguel Rojas hitting second for the Marlins today. I told you that he wouldn't, that what do you call it? That Alfaro wouldn't be the only Marlin I'm talking up today in that lineup that I really like today. It's Miguel Rojas and Jazz Chisholm. I like both of them. The Marlins are my cheap stack of the day. I think they're really interesting. I mean, we've seen Duvall break the slate already this year. Jesus Aguilar always has pop. So if you're looking to save a little money with your bats to get in those high price pitchers, a cheap Marlins stack might be the way to do it with Rojas and Chisholm as shortstop eligible.
All right, now before we go to the last position here, I do want to mention something that Rube mentioned at the beginning of the stream. I know this is for DFS Karma, and of course we're talking about DraftKings and FanDuel DFS plays, but we are actually giving every single one of our expert bets on the Bet Karma brand side of things. Everything has been free, 100% for MLB for the last 20 days, and you guys still have, what, roughly 10 days left of baseball to get free. So if you are betting on baseball, if you're in a state that allows legalized betting, then go ahead and go to betkarmachat.com. It's an automatic link that sends you directly to our Discord channel, and it automatically will bring you into our MLB premium channels as well. And then we have new channels or new tools added on the site. You have the MLB trends page, MLB live odds. These things are updated daily. MLB prop predictor, MLB against the spread records. Everything that you need to make sure that you're making the best decision possible when betting on MLB. You'll find those tools at betkarma.com. Now, segueing to outfield, who are we looking at for cash?
So for cash, I'll give two cheap options to start, and guess where they're hitting in the order today, Travis?
My guess is 9th.
They will be hitting leadoff today. Matt Joyce for the Phillies, 2.8K, really jumps off the page to me as a priority play. I think he'll be super popular in cash. He's one of the ways that you can spend up at pitcher today and jam in Burns, like I said I was going to before. So a lot of power from the left side. Not really a guy who's going to draw a lot of walks, not your traditional leadoff hitter, but anytime that a guy is projected to get, 3-4 at bats in that leadoff spot with a ton of power against a pitcher who doesn't strike a lot of people out, you have to be encouraged by that. And then another cheap option for me is Corey Dickerson. As I keep saying, I want to target Matt Harvey. People think he might have a little resurgence, but I just have not been convinced yet. And this is another cheap play for the Marlins. But my favorite cash play on the Marlins today probably is Corey Dickerson, just because he's leading off. Just a lot to like about him there. And then as a spend up option for me, it's going to be the guy hitting behind Trey Turner, and it's going to be Juan Soto against Adam Wainwright. We've yet to see that his exit velocity on some of the balls that he's hitting this year. Juan Soto's locked in, better than ever. The explosion game is coming, and if I'm spending up over 5K to like this 6K range for anyone today, it's going to be Juan Soto.
All right. And then let's wrap things up with the GPP side of your outfields. And then, you already mentioned your double dong, so we've already spoiled the double dong stream thing, of course, being Nolan. Yep. But as Rube is going through his GPP favorite outfield plays, that is your last 10 seconds to get a question into the stream. So if you still are wondering about something, should I do this or that, ask the question ASAP into the stream. I'm slowing things down so you can type it all out, because by the time Rube finishes up, we're going to wrap things up and then head back to our Discord channel for the rest of the pre-lock chatter. So go ahead. Now that I've said my piece there, GPPs, outfield plays, what are we targeting?
So I think for me, the GPP plays in the outfield come from this Coors game. Miles Straw, sub 3K, projected to lead off today for the Astros. If he is in that leadoff spot, I expect him to be very popular in not only GPPs, but cash games as well, and for good reason. I mean, a 2.9K leadoff hitter in Coors, That screams success. And then right on the other side in that Rockies game, already confirmed, Ramil Tapia at 3.4K in the outfield is leading off. So because these guys are really priced down, it makes it difficult for them to fade in cores with these team totals over 5. For those are my two favorite kind of GPP guys. You might see me, get a little weird on this slate and fade cores in general in my cash games today, just because in the beginning of the season, when cores is still kind of cold and not that 90 degrees thin air environment, I'm way more comfortable fading cores than I normally would be when the ball's not flying off the bat. So I just want to attack those cheap price tags. Other than that, I might stay away from cores today.
All right. So I was, like I said, mentioned before, I was going to say, what is your double dong pick going to be? But let's change it up here because we've already went through that. What is your hot take on if only one pitcher on the slate throws a complete game, who's it going to be?
I love this question. I kind of spoiled it before as well with a guy that I love, and it's got to be Corbin Burnes. When we get off the stream here, I'm going to go into our Bet Karma chat, and I might double down on this Corbin Burnes play tonight, just because this is a guy that I really want to be invested in. I think that he has the best chance in the National League to dethrone obviously Trevor Bauer's in the mix as well, and Walker Buehler and a bunch of the Dodgers guys. But what I've seen from Corbin Burnes this year, still only young. He's still young, 26 years old. I need to be invested in him, even against this tough Padres lineup. And I hope he goes under owned because people are afraid of the Padres. If I'm on Corbin Burnes Island, I'm okay with it. I hope he throws a complete game shutout tonight, and all of our members in Karma Nation are really happy.
So does he have that kind of leash though to like if he gets like up into the 110 area?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm. They will extend him if he's keeping runners off base. Not the managers call it up down. So as long as he is getting guys out efficiently, and not working those really deep counts like a lot of strikeout pitchers do. As long as he works effectively and efficiently, he absolutely has the upside to go deep into the game, hopefully 8-9 innings.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, that about wraps up MLB DFS Live here for 420. If you have any other questions that were not answered on the stream, make sure you go to chatdfs.com to hop in our free MLB channel where you just talk back and forth with everybody else, all the thousands of other members of Karma Nation there as well. And then if you want to get the free MLB bets, we've been giving them out free all month, doing a big April promo. You have about 10 days left of free bets. Just go to betkarmachat.com to jump in that Discord server as well. If, as you see to the side of my face, we have starting pitcher all the way down to outfield. If you came in late and you missed when we were talking about any of the previous ones, all you have to do is just rewind the stream. You can just rewind back to the beginning and move around to whatever position you want to hear the insight on. But thanks, guys, for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. See you guys.